mastermind of Brick Football and bloggers from many other clubs.
We talk about the latest goings-on in the world of football,
Giving a rundown on which leagues have been abandoned, which are restarting,
and which are just carrying on as if nothing has happened. We discuss life during lockdown, and I keep threatening to cut Lee's hair live on air.
No, that is never going to happen, Jane. Never going to happen.
This is what the fans want.
It's not what the fans want. It's as if. Right, yes, so come along and join us. It's a very relaxed environment and you'll be made very welcome.
Yes, you will. We're building up a lovely little football family here, and we'd love you to come along and join us.
We look forward to seeing you there for LCTV at 3. Boom. Hello everyone, we are live. Hopefully you can see us and hear us. I'm just going to get the live chat up for you, so just bear with us 1 second, because that's got to be done. Jane will talk to you while I'm doing that.
I will, yeah. So how's your week been, guys? There's been a lot going on with the EFL this week, hasn't there? With the votes and League Two coming to a decision of sorts, but nothing else. So there's quite a lot to talk about. Obviously, the Bundesliga kicking off today. A few other bits around Europe. We've had some champions announced yesterday of one of the European leagues. There's quite a lot we've got to cover. So hi, Stephen Smart. Good afternoon. You just let us know that you can hear us okay, just while we're testing.
We're pretty sure you can hear us. We're just checking if the chat is... the chat's now in. That's fine. So our chat's there, so we can now see you chatting, which is good. Got our chat there. We've got Stephen Smartin, Nick Muller. Hi, Nick. How's life in London for you? Glad to see you. Hopefully the chat's come up for you now. Hopefully you can hear this really nice and you can hear us fine and you can see us. It's a little bit brighter and we're all in sync for you as well. So everything's looking good.
I've run out of football shirts, so I've got my Lancashire Hot Pots Choose Pies t-shirts on today.
Lancashire Hot Pots.
Just in case you're missing your football pies.
From Jay, yeah. So. Hopefully you've got your football pie already. Sound is perfect, says Stephen Smart. That's good. Loud and clear from David Scoss. Thank you, David.
AFL may call off League One today, says Nick Muller. Well, I was reading this morning that they're meeting on Wednesday. I don't know whether they brought that forward because no League One were after an expedient solution, weren't they? So maybe I think I mean it needs to be done, doesn't it? Obviously, but. Mr. Moley, hello. Today we're on the big screen at Moley Towers.
Oh, we're on the big screen. Is it clear? And is the sound clear at Moley Towers? And does the picture look bright this time? And have we got the sync as well all together? So, because we were a little bit out of sync last week, I noticed. I was a bit disappointed with it. It wasn't quite right. There is a bit of a delay on YouTube.
Your haircut's been noticed? He actually did that himself.
Yes,
so
did it.
He wouldn't let me anywhere.
Did it myself. I watched a YouTube video on how to do it yourself, and I had a mirror, and I did a fade in and everything. So I'm quite pleased. And yes, and then I was doing some burning of wood in the back because I've been clearing the garden, and I singed a little bit at the front, didn't I? I'm very disappointed about.
Little singed bits at the front, and then
singed my eyebrows
as well. Could have just done that in the first place. It would have saved you the job cutting your hair.
Yeah, just singed it off. Yeah, but
not recommended anyway.
Yeah. Loud and proud and in sync. Good, that's great. That's wonderful because there is a slight delay with the video and the audio. The audio goes on quicker onto YouTube than the video, so I've had to just put a little bit of a delay on. So that's great. So
I'm glad I'm not involved in sorting any of this tech out. It sounds all very complicated. All of it, all the sound and the video and getting everything in sync. It's Lee can get quite stressed about this on a Saturday. I just sit in the conservatory just doing some research and prepping for the show and look at what we're going to be talking about. And Lee's probably in here swearing his head off, and I'm just oblivious to it in another room. I just leave him to it. It's the best. It works quite well. So he's got no idea what we're talking about today because I just sit in the conservatory and prepare it with with a cup of green tea and a bacon and egg sandwich on a Saturday morning. So.
Yeah, we've been quite. I've been quite busy this week. We had a bit of a problem with the Mac and getting into my folders, and I'd almost completed Jane's Away Day review video. So we were hoping to have that on this week, but it's going to be on next week now. So I think I'm going to have to start all over again. And I've spent 4 days on it and about 30 hours editing it, and it's all just I can't open the library file. So for some unknown reason, so
it's been very frustrating week really here at LCTV Towers.
It has been quite frustrating, but the weather's been nice, and we've made another walk down the promenade video because the first video that we made, which was doing around the Pleasure Beach up to South Pier, has had nearly 9,000 views, which is like one of our biggest ever videos. So we've done another one. A lot of people were asking for us to do it from Central Pier, from where Happy Days was, where the old Doctor Who exhibition used to be, up to the North Pier. So we've done that, and then there'll be another one coming on next week. We had a wander around town as well, so you can see what the Winter Gardens and all that was like. But it's really weird. You know, Jane was saying that it's a little bit like walking through like a museum of Blackpool.
Yeah, it's like a big ethnographic museum. It's just like you've got like this is what a roller coaster
ethnographic, what?
And this is what a pier is. It was just like
Everybody, quick Google ethnographic. What does that mean?
It's one in Latvia.
Explain it. Where's ethnographic come from?
It's just about a museum of life and how people lived. So if you an ethnographic museum, for example, the one I went to in I think it was Latvia, was it was all like the old houses and how they used to live and where they used to work, and so it's like a bit like the Black Country Museum if you've ever been to that in the Black Country, which is very good. But yeah, it's a bit like that. It's like, oh, this is a roller coaster. This is a pier. This is what a fish and chip kiosk look like. But it's there's actually no people and there's no life there. It's just the individual components of this is what it's just like walking through a big museum. It's really fascinating. There was another interesting analogy that you said as well,
I think Rob from Bright State of Mind mentioned to us that it was a bit like being on a movie set, like an abandoned movie set. So it's kind of like all there, but everything's closed, and it is pretty much like that. It is like a movie set of Blackpool, but as you've probably seen, the sea is really blue and clear because there's the sea's been very calm, so there's no churn up of sand. It looks amazing. I've just noticed that Dennis Hutch has said that when am I finishing the haircut off? Thank you, Dennis. What else have we got? Honestly,
Paul Philip Roberts. Hello, Paul. You're a newbie today. I don't think we've had you in before.
Hello, Paul.
What is happening to Blackpool season ticket holders? Reimbursement for outstanding games, or does it get carried over to the new season? Well, they haven't said anything about that. I don't think really that they can say anything until anything's been decided, which it hasn't yet. So. Obviously the club is going to be struggling financially. We've heard a little bit from Ben Mansford this week.
Have we?
Yeah. Well, I was researching this morning. I'll tell you later. I'll tell you later as well. But yeah, he's basically come out and said it's going to be difficult for all clubs, but hopefully, we're going to be strong enough to come through this. But personally, I buy my season ticket at the start of the season, and I don't believe I've had value from it anyway. Whether there's matches or not, I might enjoy it more with no matches. So I'm quite happy for them to keep that, to be honest. But I know people, are struggling financially and perhaps could do with that money. It'd be interesting. I should guess that maybe that they'd offer a little discount off next season, perhaps. But we'll have to wait and see because it's not. We're not going to see any more matches this season, are we? But
no.
If they do play them, and I think we're pretty sure that they're not going to now. But if they did, and they did put them on TV, then potentially season ticket holders could use that money to get access to it. So, but I think we've gone past that now, haven't we? Really?
Yeah, we have. Just a couple of things here. We'll just say hi to Paul Maynard. Hi to Scotland and Glasgow to Ryan. I won't do my Scottish accent because I won't do my Scottish accent. Hey guys, I'm here. Sorry you're late. Yeah, you're not too late. It's all right, but no gold star this week for you, Ryan. I'm afraid to say.
Oh, not even if he comes up with some good Scottish.
Yeah, I'm sure you will come up with some great Scottish banter. David Scholes like Beamish. Beamish, yes. What does it mean on that?
I don't know.
David, you'll have to explain that to us. I don't know what you mean like Beamish, but I'm sure it sounds interesting. Tom Jackson, Lee, do you ever get any trouble from stewards at Blackpool for filming? I've been told to put my phone away by stewards before for filming parts of the game. Are you Blackpool, Tom? is that at Blackpool or not? We did have a little bit of an issue with stewards, but it was all sorted out because the club were quite happy for me to do the filming that I've done, because I've done lots of things with the club.
I think
and
they're just turning a blind eye. They've agreed to turn a blind eye.
Yeah,
really.
there's kind of this thing with it. There's so many. We're actually been nominated for the Football Vlogging Awards, the Football Content Awards, and there's loads of football vloggers. And, as long as you're not actually doing like a 90-minute full coverage from an amazing vantage point, to compete with the telephone companies, little bits of and bats of stuff. But
I think realistically, the clubs understand that videos such as we do, it promotes football and it gets people interested and engaged with football. So it's not a bad thing.
Yeah, we've tried. I mean, you probably noticed with our the movies that we've been doing of these. We've been trying to, Jane's obviously done her away days where she shows you how she's gone on a coach and a train and the pubs they've been in, and we try and get halftime banter, and we try and get a bit of the crowd atmosphere and see the players coming out. And I don't personally like actually recording the game all the time, because it kind of spoils it a little bit while you're watching it. If you're trying to film goals and you can't jump up and all that sort of stuff. And it was also very cold, wasn't it, in like January and February, just to hold your camera was freezing. So it's for us, it was more the story behind the game, going to the game, that we're more interested. But then people kept saying they wanted some football on, because without football it doesn't make any sense. So we do try and get you some highlights on, but obviously the video's not all just about football highlights.
I like to think that we're quite inoffensive as well. I think if we were upsetting people and being nasty to people around the club, maybe they would think differently. But
yeah,
we're presenting a positive image, and we want to promote the club, and that's all we've ever wanted to do, isn't it? Whether it be through my blogs or through the fanzine or through the videos, all we want to do is promote Blackpool Football Club and just football in general.
And also
really,
the whole
we enjoy it so much, and we want other people to enjoy it.
The whole football community, isn't it? We try as much as we can to get to give the other side's view if we can, and not be too biased. I mean, obviously it's hard when you're Tangerine, you do see the referee decisions, and then you come out and you think, oh, blooming heck, that was actually a free kick, and you're screaming at the referee because you thought it was nowhere near. But we've tried to we're trying to make football friendly, and when we go to away grounds, there's been some super away grounds, and stewards have been fantastic. I mean, they were great at Doncaster.
Which you'll see all this on my away day video, which is coming so hopefully before football comes back. I
mean, we go on about it a lot, but Rotherham were just miserable as anything, and they didn't want us to do any filming. And even when I was filming some disabled facilities, because they were like higher up than us, so where all the wheelchairs are around the pitch at Rotherham, they were raised up quite high, so they were like middle of the stands, and they had a perfect view, not getting rained on. I was just trying to film that, and this woman came over. She was really, really horrible, and she's like, somebody up there seen you filming, can you turn your camera off, and all this sort of stuff. I wasn't even filming the game, I was filming the disabled facilities.
But when I was at Sunderland, for example, I was filming at Sunderland, and the steward could see that I was filming, and he apologised for getting him away. He's like, I'm sorry, love, and stepped outside out the way. So it's different people interpret things different ways, and some people are nicer than others and more tolerant than others. I think some people just like to feel important, don't they? So,
but I think that football does embrace the fact that these vloggers now, and it is all good. It promotes the game, and we've done as much as we can, or I originally when I kind of started off, I was trying to get Blackpool fans back to come and watch the football, and then all the summer when I did all the pitch reports, and then I went did the kit launch at the Tower, and we did the show racing the red card thing that I did. All that was to try and get
show racing the red card.
Show racism the red card, which was the thing I did behind the scenes at that particular event where they had all the children talking about racism, and I just tried to build a momentum as much as I could to get the fans excited for the game. We did all the pre-season matches. We went to Barrow, and we went to AFC Fylde, and Jane even went to Longridge and did one there as well. So we were just trying to, get everybody enthusiastic about Blackpool, and that's what I've been about all the time. So I think they see that, in many ways, that we are sort of, behind them and trying to promote them as best we can.
So just catching up on the chat. Kev's here from Chasetown. Hi, Kev. Hi, Liam Blackpool Jane up the walls in Chasetown SC. I love your shirt, Jane. Yeah, great. I do like this one. I thought I'd give it an airing today, and I've run out of football shirts to show you. So hi. You hope you're keeping well, Kev, and everything's okay down there. Paul says, thank you, Jane and Lee, for clearing that up. Appreciate loving your videos and blogs. Thank you, guys. David Skoll says there's a museum in the northeast, which is a social museum. So.
Oh, that's what is that what Beamish is? Is that Beamish? Is that the museum?
Oh, right.
Sorry, I never heard of that. So there's actually a museum up there, is there? Well, yeah. Well, Blackpool's like a giant museum, if you can imagine. It's just a giant museum.
Tom says, yes, I'm a Blackpool fan. Been told by stewards at Bloomfield not to film for small parts like penalties. Yeah, I think if you're live streaming maybe, and if you're showing a penalty during the game, maybe they don't like that so much.
Yeah, they are. They have been told actually because we got on to Steve Rowland about the little problem we had with our steward, and he sorted it all out. And really, the stewards are not supposed to get involved. It's just one of those things. They're not really supposed to stop that. And there has been trouble, hasn't there, about fans being kicked out and stuff. And I think the stewards have been told that that's. I
think it's stewards like.
It's a fine line
between. Something I talk about in the away days review is that stewards are so important. They are the face of the football club in a lot of ways. Because you go to an away ground, and that's pretty much the only contact you have with anybody from the hosting club is the stewards. So, and they really can make a difference to the day and to the experience. I think we've all had experiences over the years with bad stewarding, haven't we? But if they're nice and welcoming, then it really can make all the difference to your experience.
Well, I mean, the Accrington Stanley stewards were amazing because there was a bit of trouble again at Accrington Stanley. Fans were throwing bottles on again at that keeper, and he was winding them up and everything. And at the end of the game, it could have got a little bit nasty, and some of the fans were abusing while the steward a bit, just about his weight and stuff. Mickey taking a bit, but he took it all in good, and he got everybody laughing, and it just diffused. Honestly, it diffused it beautifully at Accrington. They were superb.
And we have a Scottish football update from Ryan. The latest is there was an EGM to try and get a resolution passed to get an independent investigation of the SPFL, and it failed to pass. Surprise, surprise.
Yes, it's honestly. It's great, Scotland. It's comedy gold every week,
that
Scotland.
Means they're not having an independent investigation. So is it all settled? Is there anything that needs ratifying or anything, or is it all done and dusted in Scotland now?
Yeah.
Talking of disabled facilities, as you guys know, I'm disabled. From what you guys can see at different, where would you say is good for seating area? I like Bloomfield Road, but I support the pool, so I'm biased.
Well, the trouble is, the disabled, obviously, in your wheelchair, Ryan, you're going to have to sit around the edge of the pitch, and there is talk about doing something for disabled. I think when they actually get around to building the East Stand, they're going to raise them up a little bit higher. So, because if it's raining, you can get wet through.
Yeah, it was quite high up at Rotherham, wasn't it? It was
it was in the middle.
Stadium,
it was like in the middle of the seats. It was a bit like Wigan as well. Wigan have got the disabled facilities high up into the stand. They're actually in the middle of the stand, so so you can see perfectly. And I don't really like sitting too near the front because I don't think you can see that good when you're too low down. But I suppose it's just one of them things. If you're in a wheelchair, you're just going to have to see it from that level. But if you come into Bloomfield Road, there's you can sit anywhere really round the south stand in the corners. There is little like bays all for wheelchairs and for carers to sit next to you. There's little seats and everything. There's some in the west. There doesn't seem to be any in the north. I don't think they sit in the north. So they either sit in the west or the south, which is all fine. We sit in the south. I like the south. It's where I've always sat. But the noise is all at the north. So if you want to be a bit more in the noise, you need to be at that north end of the west stand, I would say. If you come into Bloomfield Road, would be the best
Stephen
place.
Smart says, I have the Dortmund versus Schalke game on live. It's really great to have some football back. Is that on BT Sports? We couldn't figure out where the football was.
Yeah, we tried to have a look on YouTube just to see, because we were going to have a chat about it. Is it actually all behind closed doors? Because we wouldn't actually mind
I have some news on that. We can go on to it now if you like. I've been doing a little bit research into the Bundesliga this morning.
Mark Porter likes your T-shirt, Jane. Just very quickly, it's a Hot Pots T-shirt.
Lancashire Hot Pots.
Lancashire Hot Pots
T-shirt.
Good afternoon, Sharky. Toon Army TV. Our favourite Newcastle United fan, Toon Army TV. Is called Sharky. He does a live stream like us tonight, actually, which is brilliant, and he managed to, I don't know, on his thing, he can actually bring you in and talk to people on live. So that's brilliant. But if you haven't subscribed to him already, Toon Army TV, give him a like and a subscribe if you can, because he's on I think he's on a road to 3,000 subscribers, so he's doing really, really, really well. And
been reading this week there's been some opposition growing to the takeover at Newcastle, so would you be able to give us an update on that, Toon Army TV, so we can find out if that's still going on or if it's looking less likely now. Back to the Bundesliga. The kickoff was 2:30 today. I think there's a game tonight at 5:30 as well. I think it's a testament to the Germans' organisational, famous organisational skills that they've managed to get this back on. There's a lot. Actually watched a YouTube video on what they've done to get it moving this morning. Basically, there's 3 areas: the domestic environment, the training, and the games. So, domestic environment, obviously the players have been isolating. They're practicing good personal hygiene. Training, they're practicing distancing in dressing rooms and showers, and they're providing disinfectants. The games are fan-free. There's regular testing for the players and staff, throat swabs, and if they come up positive, then the authorities get notified automatically. They're put into isolation if there's a positive test. They're classified as high or low risk and dealt with accordingly. And the health authorities decide what's going to happen there in the event of a positive test. Building up to today, the big kickoff, the players have been in 7-day quarantine training camp, so they've been quarantined for the past 7 days ahead of today.
Are all the games on, Jane?
I believe so. Yeah.
All the games on. Just
today.
the whole Bundesliga is on.
Bundesliga 1 and 2.
All behind closed doors.
All behind closed doors, yeah. So Leverkusen, for example, they would normally have a crowd of 32,000. There's going to be 213 people at that game today. The stadiums are going to be split into 3 zones. I think we touched on this last week, the week before. So there's an exterior, interior, and the stand. There's so many people can go in each. 117 people allowed in the stand. 100 people on the interior, which I'm guessing is the pitch and pitch side, and 111 on the exterior. They're not showing it outside the ground, are they? Like that Dutch thing. It's not on big screens, is it not? No. I wouldn't imagine so. No, because I know that there was talk of that, wasn't there, in Holland? Where they were going to screen it outside. Was it you could watch in your car from the car park? Oh, that was Denmark, I think. Was it Denmark? Yeah, I don't know. The staff are working in rotating shifts. They have been set areas at set times. Teams are going to be using multiple buses when they're arriving at the stadium. There's going to be using multiple changing rooms. There's a changing room for the starting 11, a changing room for the subs, a changing room for the goalkeepers. Great. The teams are going to run out separately. There's going to be no handshakes. There'll be limited numbers allowed in the dugouts. Not all the seats will be used. And after the game, there'll be a virtual press conference and plexiglass between the people for the press that are there. So you know what you're saying about, right? So the teams are going to run out separately, and they're not going to do handshakes. No. But then they're going to play football, so they're going to be all going up to each other, sliding tackles, falling over each other, within two inches. So what does it matter if you don't walk out together? Because you're going to be playing football. It's a nonsense. Like, so are they going to keep 2 meters away from each other while they play the football as well? Because it just, you're watching this, Stephen. Are the players wearing masks when they're playing, or are they not? It's just know that. I didn't really. It's like, well, we're not going to get you anywhere near as you're walking out, and you can't. It's just minimising. But then you're going to play football for 90 minutes. It's just. Honestly, I don't get it. Mr. Moley says, my Scottish team is Stenhouse Muir. No logical reason why. Do you guys have a favourite Scottish team? Ooh. Well, we're kind of a bit Rangers at the moment. We're Ryan, because we've adopted him, so we're going to have to follow them, aren't we? He's the only Scottish fan coming on at the moment. And we're going to go up to Rangers and meet him. So we're going to do a video like this, well, whenever the football comes back. So yeah, it'd be a
interesting to see what it's like in Rangers. Never been to a Scottish match in my life.
At the moment, I'm scrapbooking my match tickets dating back from 1991 up to, I think I've got up to about 2005, 2006 at the moment. And I've just got up to one of our Scotland tours. I've got tickets from when we played Ross County, Inverness, Caledonian Thistle, and who else do we play? Keith. I don't think there's a ticket for the Keith game, but I've got the Ross County and the Cali tickets, so I'm just about to scrapbook those. So I don't know if we've been back to Scotland since. I think we played at Dundee, did we, pre-season last season, but I couldn't justify going because I didn't have enough holiday and it would have been expensive. But I was looking forward to pre-season this year. But
Stephen Smart is in Costa Rica. What's the weather like in Costa Rica, Stephen? That sounds amazing. It's on Fox Sports Live. I just wonder if we can get it somehow.
How is it in Costa Rica with the coronavirus? How is it? Is it really taking hold over there? Where is Costa Rica?
Oh, Toonami's got over 3,000 now, so he's on his way to 4,000. So we'll try and help him get to 4,000 subscribers.
Is it South America, Costa Rica?
Yeah, it must be. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And what does it mean? Is it rich coast?
Yeah, what does Costa Rica mean? Yeah, like in
we
England.
like to learn from these live streams. So
Ryan Dunbar's just saying in regards to Scotland, I think it's far from being resolved, and I agree with Lee. Comedy gold. Last time I was at Bloomers, he sat in the south, and the time before was in the Armfield stand. So yeah, so you know the layout of Bloomfield Road. That's brilliant.
Mark says,
Toonami says his takeover's still close. What's going on at present? The human rights issue, it's delayed. Yeah, well, we keep reading things. I was saying the other day, they seem very keen to throw spanners in the works on this, don't they? Is it a jealousy thing, do you think? Because he's so wealthy that the other clubs are not with you on this? Is there a lot of jealousy on it?
We've got Napper's mum. Hi, Jade and Lee. It's Codsvlog's mum. Ben's doing a live stream right now. I'm loving your stream, Q, so well. That was brilliant.
Hello, Codsvlog's mum. Can't call you Codsvlog's mum, though, can we?
Napper's mum.
Oh, just Napper. We'll just call you Napper's mum, yeah.
That's brilliant.
Brilliant.
I did see that he was doing a live stream.
Yeah.
We're going to miss him, but I'm glad he's got a proxy here today. That's brilliant.
Yeah. Sport reinforcements into the ear. Oh, that's fantastic. Nice to meet you anyway. That's lovely. And we can't seem to get the Bundesliga game on. We'd like to know what it looks like, to be honest. We could talk about it. But if any of you watching it, just let us know what you think. Is it like watching football in an empty stadium? Is it as kind of boring as I thought it would be without crowds, or is it as exciting as it would be even without the crowds there?
Tom says they're not wearing masks, but the subs on the bench do have masks on and are all sat in separately at a 2 metre distance.
So the players on the bench have got masks on, but the players playing on the pitch in contact with each other haven't got masks.
I guess they're not in contact.
I suppose they can't run around with a mask on, can they? But
well, it might affect their breathing, I suppose.
I mean, the good thing is, if they've actually been in like quarantine for a week and they've all been tested and none of them have got coronavirus, none of them have tested positive for it, and they've been in this isolation for a week and they're playing football, then hopefully they should all be fine, shouldn't they? Logic would say. I mean, probably 2 weeks would have been better, because then you would definitely know none of them have got coronavirus and they could go and play each other and handshake and do whatever they want, because they've not been in.
Mark says the Dortmund games on BT Sport. Tried watching it for 10 minutes. It's good that it's back, but couldn't watch it. Echoing empty stadium, like watching football at a big sports centre.
Well, this is it. This is what I've been saying all along. I can't see watching football in an empty stadium on TV. It's gonna be worse than watching. No, don't say it. Women's football. It's going to be...
Don't say that. That's outrageous. I'm going to change the subject there. So,
I knew I'd light the fire there when I said that. I said it just for the controversy. Right, okay. Leicester, but obviously it's just like watching a non-league game, but a non-league game with like nobody there. I mean, even non-league has got some sort of support there. If you're watching like a non-league team that's that's pulled a league team in the cup or something, there is a lot of people go to that game and they sell out and everything, don't they? But you very rarely watch football on TV that's got 114 fans in the stadium.
Costa Rica is in Central America and is Spanish for Rich Coast. Thank you,
Rich Coast.
for educating us there. Stephen Smart, we've been very lucky, only have 8 deaths to date. They close things down here very quickly. Costa Rica is in Central America, north of Panama.
Wow, that's really good. 8 deaths in the whole of Costa Rica. That's very good. How many people live in Costa Rica then? 'Cause obviously we have What did we say we have in Blackpool? 180,
We're about 140,000.
140,000, and we've
about
had
500 and something cases.
500 something cases. But how many deaths have we had, Jane?
Oh, I don't know.
No.
I haven't been
No.
keeping up with that. I'm just trying not to read the news really too much. Just live in our own little bubble.
Oh, Ryan's proud. We've both adopted Rangers.
Well,
Yeah, definitely. We're looking forward to it. We'll certainly be keeping an eye on the results, Ryan. Due to you, that's for certain.
Rob's here from Brighter State of Mind Hypnotherapy. Hi, Lee and Jason.
Here we are,
A bit late to the party. Sounds like you're having fun, though. Yes, we are. We always have fun. It's nice to talk about
Kanisa
football.
Smith is back with this. Kanisa, we've got you down as thoughts on Tom and Baker, ? Is there a future for Sarah?
You asked us this week and we didn't understand it last week either. So
we don't
perhaps explain.
We don't understand what that actually means because I don't know who Tom and Baker is. I remember Tom Baker, the Doctor Who, but Sarah, we've no idea. So if you can just clarify that to us, Kanisa, we'll certainly answer your question.
Army TV says on the takeover, it could be down to jealousy, but I do understand the concern behind it all. What people don't understand is that the fans don't pick and choose who owns the football club. Well, no, indeed, but you can't get rid of them if you try hard enough.
Yeah, you can get rid of him. Yeah, as we've kind of proved over time, or not a penny more. Although there was, obviously the help from the Bellicon case and everything, and the way they screwed him over. But we did actually manage to get them out in the end.
Ryan says, "I'm sorry, Lee. On Jane's side here, women's football is getting better. My team is the USA national team for the World Cup and England for the Euros." Yeah, the USA have been really good for years and years, haven't they? They've been ahead of the rest of the world really in terms of women's football for a long time. But yeah, we're catching up now, aren't we? And it's really starting to take off again over here now. So Mark says the Dortmund game has made me realise that football without the fans is dead. Yes, we do certainly help generate the atmosphere, don't we? And
yeah,
but then I've been watching a bit of non-league football with Chasetown, and there's fewer fans there, but you do get into it. You do have a bit of an atmosphere. It's totally different now. I think you'll agree, Kev. Will you there that when you're watching the Villa or the Wolves? Sorry, there's more of an atmosphere. And at non-league, it's just missing that something, but. That said, you do have something extra from non-league because you have that intimacy with the players and the club, and you feel like you're valued. So it's like a different game, really.
But the thing with, and this is, just slightly putting another spin on this. If you're watching a non-league game, you're going to watch a game that is going to have nobody there, and it's got a certain eccentricity to it, and you can have a beer, and it's all very, you're not stressing out over the fact you're going up or down. It's all very polite and nice. Now, when you get Premier League football, you've got like millions of people watching that all over the world. People like Netflix are wanting to come in and pay £500 million for every blooming Premier League club because the market for it is so massive to be shown on TV. But the people that want to watch Premier League football don't want to watch Premier League football like a non-league game. They're wanting the atmosphere, the excitement of it, the whole charade, the whole fantasy, the whole circus around Premier League is all what makes people watch those TV games. But if there's nobody there in the stadium and it's like watching paint dry with the atmosphere, are they going to get the viewing figures for the Premier League that they want? Well, we'll see, won't we, this Bundesliga, I suppose, how many people watch it. But I don't think as many people will be rushing to the pubs and all the rest of it. The pubs aren't even open, so they won't be showing it. So I don't think the viewing figures are going to be that massive for it as if it was a real Premier League game. And whether people might watch the first one out of novelty and then after a few games think, oh no, I might as well just go out and do the garden or something, because that's my only thing with it. I don't think it's going to be as well.
It's not just a visual spectacle, is it?
No.
Well, it's partly. I mean, there's a visual side of not having the fans there, but there's also the audio as well. If you're not hearing the fans getting excited, is it the same? Because it's it appeals to all the senses, doesn't it? Football, and if you haven't got that,
yeah.
I did read something that someone was thinking about piping in, fan music.
Piping in fan sounds, yeah. putting them on
Maybe
speakers.
they do it in
or something.
America, don't they? They have all the music.
Yeah, they do, but still with nobody there and nobody jumping up and down with a
Have
goal.
some dramatic
And
music when they take a penalty or something. Maybe there's a future in that.
yeah, maybe there's something, but I'll have to, obviously we'll have to see when it comes on these behind closed doors games. But I mean, maybe in the Premier League, there will still be Liverpool fans and United fans and Arsenal fans and Chelsea fans all wanting to watch it. But then when you come down to if they're going to show some Championship games all behind closed doors, is anybody other than like the fans of Preston say going to watch it? Because I don't know. I'm not convinced that it's that brilliant, but I've not seen it yet, so I'm talking. I could be wrong. It could be brilliant without any sound.
Mr. Moley is our Costa Rica correspondent now. Give us some more stats. Costa Rica, about 5.5 million population. So if their death rate was the same as the UK, you would expect over 2,800 deaths. They have 8, apparently. Go figure.
Brilliant. That's brilliant. Sharky's just pointed out that the Blackpool versus Nottingham Forest playoff game at Forest, the second leg, is on YouTube at the moment. Well, we actually watched that when it came out on the night, didn't we? Was it Thursday night?
It was on one night earlier this week, wasn't it?
It was either Wednesday or Thursday night. So we actually watched it again. It's the first time Jane's seen the full match because she was actually there in the at the game. I watched it with Grandad, with my dad and then the two boys, but they're too young, they don't remember. So we all watched it at my dad's house. And my only criticism was the stream was very low, very poor quality, especially when. No, especially when we're watching it on a big screen as well, because I have a projector and everything. It was really pixelated, but we still enjoyed it anyway. It was an amazing game, and that. Yeah,
they're showing the Cardiff final next Friday at 7:45. So
I think Jane has tweeted the club. Have you tweeted the club?
I have asked them if they can stream it in 1080p, so it's a bit better quality. Because watching it on the big screen, it was, to be honest, it was making me feel a little bit ill watching it in what was it? Was it in?
It was. I think it was like 720p, but it was really like pixelated. So it was muddy. You couldn't get it really clear. And we're so used to seeing things in 4K now, aren't we? And 1080p and everything's, hopefully, we're looking in a lot better. Well, I hope so. I hope our stream is better quality than what they were streaming. And I don't understand why they're streaming it such low quality. Which is a shame, but it didn't matter because it was still great to watch. And funnily enough, watching it back, we beat Forest, but first half we weren't
that good, and DJ Campbell wasn't that good.
Yeah, I was sat there ribbing Janie. I was saying, take DJ Campbell off. He's having a nightmare. He couldn't trap a bag of cement in the first half. He was really off form. And we all know second half he scored an hat trick, and that his second goal, that little 1-2 with Stephen Dobby honestly, it's beautiful to watch. It's just great football, and there was, some.
Oh, he's saying the live streams from Bloomfield Road. That must be the first leg. Oh, okay, interesting.
Oh, the first leg's on, is it? The Bloomfield Road one? Ah, right, okay, yeah.
We'll have to have a look at that.
Yeah, we will watch that because you've forgotten that. I can't even remember. I can't remember much about it. I know we won 2-1, and I know did they have a penalty at the end. I can't remember everything that went on in that first game because the second game just superseded it in every way that the first leg.
Mr. Moley says we look better on the big screen than the stream was. So does that because we're more pixelated, or is it good quality?
No, it should be. It should. Honestly, I've been playing around. I've been perfecting this for weeks. I've been so upset. I was so upset last week because we were a bit dark, and the audio was slightly out of sync. So I honestly, I've been trying everything to just get all the lighting right and to have it all looking right and not so dark.
There's a few more bits that we're looking to bring in future weeks as well to enhance the experience.
Yeah, now we've got this cracked, haven't we? Now we've got it this sort of good.
Dennis says, would giving the linesmen and substitutes vuvuzelas improve the atmosphere? I think that's a cracking idea.
Oh, didn't we? Do you remember the vuvuzelas though from South Africa? It was hard to even watch the match, wasn't it? Because they just never stopped. That sort of, it was like a droning bee sound all the way through the game, wasn't it? It was just a noise that just went on and on and on. But I remember there was when the rugby was on one summer. Just after that World Cup at Bloomfield Road, there's a rugby final, and somebody was walking around town. One of the away fans, one of the rugby league fans, had this big vuvuzela, and he was walking down the street and he was playing away. It was so loud. it was incredibly loud. I don't exactly know what a vuvuzela is, but they're like a big wooden thing. But God, they were really, really loud. It was amazing sound from it. You could tell why it made such a lot of noise. Is there any point in celebrating when a player scores? Well, that's the thing. I mean, it'll be weird, won't it? Will they run to the, do a goal celebration to like nobody and go and kick the corner flag or something, or sing to the corner flag? There'd be it's just none of that because there's no fans there. They're not going to go, whizzing the shirt around the neck or anything, are they? Taking it off and getting booked because there's nobody there. It's just. I'll be interested to see what this football's like.
Blackpool Bible on Instagram says Ben Mansford has said things about playing local teams and current state of the club quite worried, to be honest. Well, I mean, I just don't. This is the Gazette website's a little bit dodgy for reading articles, isn't it? But I did. I read the one yesterday and the one this morning on there, and I think it sounded like it was a little bit reassuring, saying that they're in a sounds like they might be in a better situation than most. They've furloughed the players. The wages have been deferred for the management team, who are working from home at the moment. The manager, the management team, Ben Mansford himself, and interestingly, the football recruitment people are still working. So we're obviously still got our eyes out for players. Not sure quite what they can be doing, but it sounds like we're going to be on the front foot when the transfer market does start picking up again, because we're still active in that area. I was reading about, I think it was AFC File. They've just furloughed the manager. They said he was trying to work and look at maybe recruiting players, but his hands were tied a little bit. So we've got, we seem to have taken a different view, and we are, hopefully that we could be in a strong position coming out of this if we are still actively looking at recruitment on the football side.
Toonami TV, what is happening in League One now that League Two looks done and it is PPG, points per game?
Well, there's been an interesting statement that's come out from Portsmouth, Oxford, Sunderland, Fleetwood, Peterborough and Ipswich. They've come out with a joint statement saying they've got no desire for voiding the season, points per game scenarios, or letting a computer decide our footballing fate. Now, obviously, they're sides that are all up there or thereabouts, aren't they? Looking at it. So, which is interesting, because I was also reading this morning about the Port Vale chairman who voted just for an end to the season, just even though they could have technically made the playoffs. They were just one place outside the playoffs, I think. And she said, it was difficult for her. She said she was shaking afterwards, but she voted for the end to the season, even though, it was detrimental to her. It was detrimental to her club. And she said, I'm going to have to face the manager and explain what I've done now. But,
she's thinking about lives.
She did it for the greater good, which is, it sounds like,
these other clubs are just not seeing this.
I understand it's important and money's important. I mean, we've been watching Sunderland till I die. We understand how, important it is for Sunderland, but you've got to think of the greater good. And, they're talking about not letting a computer decide our footballing fate. But what about the fate of the players and the staff and their lives? Surely that's more important. People's lives are more important.
But it's not just the players, and it goes on, because if somebody catches it and they get it and they spread it onto somebody else, and that goes on to somebody else, and on it goes. And just from that one game, you could have potentially hundreds and hundreds of people, maybe thousands of people, contracting the virus as it spreads, because we can't see it. You just can't see. You don't know where it is. So the less, we're not doing lockdown for a reason. None of us want to be in lockdown, really. But it's ruining Blackpool's season. But
back to Blackpool, the majority of the staff have been furloughed for a while. The players are being accommodating, apparently, and they're very appreciative of the players, ringing up supporters who are isolated, and that's been a nice thing to see. Although I guess it is in their contracts to do things that the club asked them to do.
Hi, Ollie's Vlogs. Hi, Ollie.
Hi, Ollie. Interestingly, Ben Mansford did come out and say that players' salaries may need to be part of any long-term solution, which he said that the PFA are starting to understand that the players' salaries are a problem.
Yeah, they are.
And if they are looking at it's comforting to know that they are looking at potentially at long-term solutions. So because they're going to have to be prepared for this sort of thing happening again, because it could easily happen again. We could get a different virus and we'll be in the same situation again. So football needs to be better prepared for it. And
yeah, I don't think any fan would disagree from any club that football wages have just gone out of hand. Even before this, they're just way out. It's crazy money that they're paying, and half of these, if these players are bankrupt after they've been in the Premier League, then they can only gamble it away because there's just so much money. It's crackers. It doesn't matter how much money they get paid from Sky, the agents, and just keep bumping the money up all the time, and it's nonsense. It's insane, actually, totally insane. The population of Costa Rica is 5 million plus a few. Wow, so they've done really, really well, haven't they? 5 million people. There's only been 8 deaths. So are they all? There's been thing I've been reading on about coronavirus, especially in Japan, where they're all wearing masks. They have to wear masks in Japan, and it's really not spread very far. And we're a bit laissez-faire with masks. Some are wearing them, some are not. But you see the odd 1 or 2 people wearing masks, but there's not many wearing masks. Sometimes the staff in the shops are wearing masks. I saw in a video in America the other day that there was a lot of when they were showing shops, it was actually saying you cannot enter this shop unless you've got a mask on, and we're not really wearing masks too much, and I don't know whether that's a good or a bad thing. I don't know what you all think about that.
We're okay though, aren't we? We've been going to the supermarket without wearing masks, and we've been okay. So I think as long as you're sensible, following all the guidelines, obviously a mask will help. They can't hurt, can they?
Mr. Moley says it's the first time he's ever seen vuvuzelas and improve in the same sentence.
I think that would be awesome.
They are loud though. They are very loud, but I don't think they did the South African World Cup much good, because she just couldn't. I mean, the problem I thought with the World Cup in South Africa was the vuvuzelas were so loud that you just actually couldn't hear the normal sort of crowd. You couldn't hear the roars and the chants because it was just drowned out by vuvuzelas. So there was no atmosphere. It was just like a buzz the whole way through the game. Almost like something you want to turn down, like an annoying sound. But the actual, if they'd have used them when they scored rather than just like blowing them all the way through the game, I just thought they ruined the South African World Cup. I must admit, I didn't like them at all.
Ryan says, just stick a Blackpool fan with the Blackpool flag, and the opposing team have their flag, and have them run the lines wearing masks. Sorted. Well, yeah, that could work. It'd be more entertaining, wouldn't it?
It might well be more entertaining. We haven't seen it yet. We're going to have to see these Bundesliga matches, David. In fact, if we can't get it live, and I don't think we are going to be, but we'll have a look at it in the week, and we'll tell you our thoughts on it more then. And also you guys, if you all watch it as well and come back to us and tell you, if you liked it or you didn't like it, you thought that playing behind closed doors is going to work as a thing that people are going to watch. I'm not convinced it's going to do as well as I think it's going to do.
Kev says Wolves' last European game was away in Espanyol behind closed doors. It was like a friendly. Shame really, as it's boring without fans. Yeah, I think we're unanimous on that, aren't we?
Well, we're thinking that, aren't we? We've not seen it yet, but we're thinking it will be boring without fans.
Ryan says, with regards to that, how do you stop a season but yet have playoffs, keep the league as no one is going up, no one going down? Yeah, well, they haven't decided on that yet, have they? The League Two clubs have voted to end the season.
They're still talking about wanting playoffs, aren't they?
You had an energy drink this morning. You've not stopped talking. I can't get a word in.
Right. Okay. Right. I'll be
it's
quiet.
half time.
Right.
I've only had one thing off my list.
I'm not going to say it. That's it. I'm going to keep quiet.
So the League Two clubs have asked to suspend relegation.
Naughty corner later.
Stevenage are 3 points behind at the bottom of the table with 10 games to play. So it's very much, not decided that they would have finished bottom. So they've asked to have relegation suspended. Obviously, with Bury going out of the league as well, we're still a club down. So Barrow are hopeful that they will get promoted. And I don't see why they wouldn't suspend relegation this year. It would cost £140,000 for the tests, which I think that's per club, which just seems prohibitively expensive. There's also a 47-page health and safety document regarding sterilisation of stadiums, etc., that they would have to adhere to, and it's just not practical for them to carry on. The EFL board are going to discuss further on Wednesday. The Swindon, so in terms of positions in League Two, Swindon will be champions, Crewe and Plymouth will get promoted, and then Exeter, Cheltenham, Colchester United and Northampton are still in the playoff places, and they are talking about potentially playing playoff matches, which I don't get.
Drink of water.
I think, if they wanted to play playoffs, why not just have penalty shootouts? I don't see why. You're on mute now.
I'm talking now, that's it. I'll just keep quiet. You just do the show. That's all right. She do the show on her own. Let's see how she copes without me butting in all the time.
It would effectively cost money to stage games, for clubs to stage games, so it's just not practical. There's 1,400 players in the Championship to League Two who are out of contract on the 30th of June. The National League are waiting on an EFL decision before deciding on promotion and relegation. So, but the Championship want to play on. So,
right,
the big money, Premier League dream at the end, haven't they? So there's money talks.
Toonami, Borussia Dortmund 3, Schalke 0. So are you watching that, Sharky? Is it great entertainment if you are, or have you just got that off some sort of live feed? Stuart Drury says, hi Jane Stewart from Burntwood, up the chase.
Oh yeah, we're getting a little chase town clique coming in here.
Got a smile out of her now, aren't we? Smiling. She's been upset about me keep talking all the time. Right, last week I told you Shanghai Disneyland opened on Monday and by all accounts was pretty successful, and theme parks across mainland Europe is starting to open again.
Yeah, I guess if they just sanitise the bars on the rides, maybe, and socially distance
limit
in the queues,
people to go in, yeah.
Yeah, it's doable, I guess. Nick Muller says, have you gone back to any old hobbies since lockdown? Well, I've been scrapbooking my tickets, which kind of I suppose it's been many years. I used to scrapbook when I was a little girl. So that's taking me back. I'm finding it's great actually. It's a good mindful practice, and there's some good memories in those old tickets and some not so good ones as well. So I've been doing that. How about you, Lee?
I've just been learning to be quiet most times. Dave Skull says Jane's diplomatic way to tell you to shut up. Yes, I know. I got the message. It was loud and clear. I keep butting in, so I'll keep quiet. No, I haven't been back to any old hobbies because I've been doing mainly videos, editing videos and doing all sorts. I've been doing some videos for Brighter State of Mind, which is a project I'm doing with Rob. He's a hypnotherapist, and it's give him a like and a sub if you can. Go and have a look at his. If he's going to put these hypnotherapy things online, so rather than going to see him privately and paying a lot of money just for free, you can go to sleep. And if you're stressed out, there's a great one for stress, there's one for pain, there's a lot more coming up, stopping smoking, all that sort of stuff. So I've been doing that. We've been filming obviously the walks up and down the promenade in lockdown, which was just our third one of those. We did Stanley Park, we did the Pleasure Beach area, and we just done from Central Pier through to the North Pier. So they've taken us a while, and I spent a whole week on editing Jane's wonderful away day review, and something's gone wrong with my Mac and I can't open the library for it. I've been on to Apple, I'm waiting for a return, but it looks like I've lost everything I've done for a week, so I've got to redo all that. So that you would have had that this week, which is a shame. But no, that's it. What about you, Jane? Do you want to tell anybody anything and speak for a while I keep quiet?
Adam says, hello, I'm tired. Please just void League One. I don't care. All this waiting, it's not worth it. No, it's just that they're having to get everybody to agree, aren't they? And it was never going to be easy, but it's becoming very protracted now, and I don't think it's fair on the players. It's it would be closed season now, so just let them have a closed season, let them switch off, and without having to worry about, am I going to have to go back to training in a couple of weeks? And I guess it's keeping them fit, isn't it? They're keeping them on the edge of the seats about when they're going back. But if they could have like a proper break, mentally just switch off for a few weeks, I think that would be, that would be great.
This thing, somebody's mentioned the Premier League are talking about starting again in June, but surely loads of players are out of contract by then, are they? Is that not an issue with the Premier League, losing players out of contract? I don't know. It's just insane.
Extend contracts, can't they? Tangerine Aid, hi all. Been listening in. Hi Aid. I've been listening in on and off due to a call from Australia. We've got Bob back up again now. Dortmund v Schalke match on TV. The atmosphere is dire. 3-0 to Dortmund, like watching a practice match.
That's what I think. Is it something you'd want to watch again after watching this? Is it something you'd be like rushing to the pub or rushing wherever to go and watch this Bundesliga thing? Is it that good? Behind closed doors. I haven't seen it yet, but I just don't imagine it will be.
Aid, was it you who recommended the Night Sky app to us last week because I've downloaded that and it's fantastic. You get to see exactly when all the Starlink satellites are going over and all the constellations and all the planets. I'm very excited about using that a little bit more.
Oh,
Starlink this week.
Oh yes, that app is amazing. What's it called?
The Night Sky.
The Night Sky, and that was Aid, wasn't it? Who recommended it? Was it?
So.
Yeah, it's amazing, and you can kind of put it up to the sky and see where all the where you're looking, and that it's fascinating. So yeah, we're
gonna have a little lie in the garden, aren't we?
We still haven't seen Starlink yet.
The iPad up there and seeing on a clear night, which I hope might be tonight.
We thought Starlink was going across all in a row, like bit like Father Christmas and like going across, but it seems like it's just one at a time. Is it? It's not quite all together as I thought it was going to be, which is probably why we haven't seen it.
Mr. Moley back in Costa Rica, they're being held up as a success story. They banned mass gatherings as early as 9th of March and closed their borders on 19th of March. Lower infection rates than even New Zealand and Republic of Korea. Wow. Well done, Costa Rica.
Yeah, but who'd have known?
Sounds like you're safe over there, Stephen.
Costa Rica leading the world.
That's right. MK Seasider, hello. Used our tangerine plastic vuvuzela I found in my Blackpool shirt crate in the garage yesterday to try and frighten the birds off who are nesting in the tree in our garden and annoying the wife. That's very
we like the little birds.
We've been enjoying watching the birds.
Yeah, some little birds have started coming into our garden, and we had some lovely little green ones the other night that were right on the top of the trees, blowing around on the top, and they seemed perfectly happy. They all shut off when this big sort of bird came flying over. They all disappeared pretty quick.
And the birds have started coming back. We were saying a few weeks ago we weren't seeing many birds here, but they're all coming back now. The seagulls are all back now. The tourists are back. It's a bit busier down the prom today. I watched a video today of someone walking down the prom, and it's a lot busier.
We're expecting it, aren't we, to be busy?
Yeah, but the seagulls are all, people are feeding the seagulls as well.
Yeah, they'll be back. They will be back.
Yeah. Mark Porter, if Blackpool season is voided, does that mean Simon Grayson's disastrous return to Bloomfield doesn't even have to go on his CV?
He might get away with it on his CV, but he'll never get away with it from Jane, that's for sure.
Never be out of my memory.
No.
Sadly,
Traumatized for life over Larry. I'm so excited to see him when he came back. She was so excited about Larry. It really was.
Tsunami TV, Sky Sports app. I hear the Premier League are looking to resume in mid-June. Our next game is at home to Sheffield United. It's going to be weird seeing St James's Park empty. Yeah, I bet it is.
Oh, very strange, isn't it?
Yeah. Paul Maynard loved the new Blackpool video this week. Keep up the good work. Yeah, good work, Lee.
Thank you, Paul. Yeah, it's I actually it's my favourite. I think it's really, really good, and it's so iconic. The whole thing. It is an amazing part of Blackpool. The Golden Mile, which is obviously it starts at Central Pier and runs right the way through to the tower. That sort of Golden Mile, it is iconic, no doubt about it. And it is weird walking through it when it's all short, just like a museum. What is it? Sorry, Jane, what's the word?
Ethnographic museum.
An ethnographic museum. There we are. I see educational as well as inspirational and everything. On here you get to learn new words, but yeah, or like a movie set, a movie, walking through like a giant movie set that's all just finished now, the movie's gone away and you're just left with it all there. It's weird, it's kind of sad but really kind of great all at the same time. It's and you'll never see it again. I mean, well, hopefully we'll never see it again, but I actually say at the end of the video that we look back at videos or film that was made in the Second World War of what life was like, and it's all black and white or grainy or on cine film, but people in future generations are going to watch these videos and look back what was Blackpool like in 2020 when it's lockdown, and they can just watch my video and it'll be in great quality. They can see exactly what it was like, and all the other it'll be there forever. People will be able to see what this time was like in London and New York and everywhere. You'll be able to see what life was like. It's an amazing time, that we have these cameras and phones that can film things that we've never had before and film it in 4K. And then soon, I think the new Samsung phone can film in 8K. It's incredible. It's just incredible time.
Mr. Moley says, Jane, is my mind playing tricks, or did you go to the pre-season games at Ayr, Partick Thistle and Clyde back in the Mackett area? Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Have you got to that yet in your tickets? Have you gone in your
I'm
scrapbook?
not sure there were tickets for those. Yeah, that would have been before Colin Hendry, won't it? So
Yeah.
no, I don't think there were tickets for those matches. But yeah, I remember the Partick Thistle Club shop. They had little bottles of Partick Thistle whiskey that made me smile. They had a pub crawler Glasgow that day. I think I went home after the Clyde game. Was that the last match?
Yeah, Jane was. She had a ticket, didn't you, for a non-league, a sort of a pre-season match, and you couldn't. It was like worn out.
Oh
so
yeah, Darlington. When we
Darlington.
played
She didn't know which year it was.
The Reynolds Arena. I posted it on social media.
So she posted it, yeah,
It was
and
all faded, and I knew it was between 2003 when they opened the stadium and like 2010. And yeah, a couple of people came back to me and gave me the exact date. It was the 24th of July 2004. So
yeah.
So now I know.
John Cross, is like former players, does a lot of work, with the former players behind the scenes. He does all the arranging of bringing the former players to the games, to do the halftime draws and arrange them, to go. He is a fabulous bloke, and he's got a massive collection. He's actually on. If you look back at our videos, the one where I went to the program fair, wasn't it? Which game was that before?
It wasn't. It was a Sunday. It was after a match. I think.
Oh, is it just a separate video?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a program fair on in the corner of the north where the old shop is.
It was earlier on in the season because Rob promoted it in the Accrington video.
Yeah, and John was selling, or he is selling, a lot of memorabilia. He had tons to sell, and somebody got to program, didn't they? The Preston North End, Blackpool promotion at North End for about 20p or something. I thought, I wish I'd have got that with Fred Pickering hat-trick, but it was that program. It was amazing. It was from BST, wasn't it? It was Tony Wilkinson bought it for 20p. Yeah, really interesting. But yeah, John had been to the game as well, so he goes to everything.
Somebody else actually posted a copy of the ticket with that actually had the print on, so he could see it. So there was a couple of people that came back to me. I actually saw a ticket with the printed date on as well. So.
I can't believe that people save every ticket that they've ever had. It's not. I don't know if you guys do, but Jane saves every single ticket from every game.
From concerts. I found concerts from back when I was living in Blackpool the first time, when I went to see Curtis Stigers at the Grand Theatre. So that's dating that a little bit. So
yeah, wow.
All sorts of gigs I've been to over the year. We went to see Kylie last year, and I've still got all the tickets for all those. It's just memories.
Yeah, you keep the tickets.
Otherwise, and you look at the ticket, and it's like it's an object that brings back the memory. The physical object brings back the memory. So it's more than just a physical object. It's actually all the memories that are attached to it and the history attached to it. So it's quite interesting. It's not just a ticket at all.
Which is going to be great in years to come with all the videos that we're doing now, because they'll be memories forever, won't you? You'll be able to look back and you'll be able to remember exactly what went on. I mean, Jane's been doing a review of the away days, and it's just jogged your memory all the way. Like, oh yeah, I remember when we went there and we did this and what, and it's just all memories. It's amazing.
These live streams, I'm going through the news, the football news for this week. So looking back, in 50 years' time at these videos, you look back at these live stream videos, you'll know exactly what was happening in football news from that week, because we're just summarising it in news. So it's...
Mr. Molly says, a bit like Father Christmas. We have our league quote of the day. Well, you know what I mean? When you see like Father Christmas on his sleigh on NORAD, and he's like flying across the sky. I thought Starlink was going to look like that, with a lot of stars all going in a line across the sky, like Father Christmas would do. Yes, but yes, it is the quote of the day. You can have that one. You can quote that anywhere you want. Starlink like Father Christmas. But yeah, but it seems like it's just one going over and one going over, not just all going over in a long line together.
Ben Smith says, hi Lee, love your videos.
Thank you, Ben.
Tsunami TV, the Premier League clubs and players have agreed to allow players to renew contracts to conclude the season. That's just extending the contracts, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, there's this, fine, it's all money, isn't it? It is. Ryan, back to theme parks. Where theme parks are concerned, it's more temperature checks, digital apps to show you have 100% health, spaces on the rise, masks are worn, but people have already stopped wearing masks in Shanghai.
Oh.
Mr. Moley, if the season's voided, should Bolton begin next season with their points deduction? I can see arguments both ways. Well, it sounds like they are having promotion and relegation, so they'll be relegated. So,
I think Bolton are gone. It's a shame, but we don't like Bolton anyway, do we really?
Sounds like it's going to go, isn't it? So they'll be gone, so no points deduction for them next season.
Oh, Dennis, no. If the season's voided, we won't have to start next season with Larry. Do not say that. Just don't even contemplate that for Jane. You get
stick your away day.
Yeah, she's not going. She won't do Jane shoots away days. I have to do them on my own. If I should stay home and edit all the videos.
Oh God, no. David Scholes green on tops of trees. It was a leaf.
Yes, no, it was definitely birds. They were like little sort of green colour. Well, they were tiny little birds.
I couldn't figure out what they were. I was trying to have a look on. I'll have to re-upload the RSPB app. I couldn't figure out if it was like a greenfinch, a goldfinch. It was kind of. It had a green body. It had like little red bits just sort of here, and it seemed to have like a red ring on its head. I don't know if this is sounding familiar. It sort of looked a bit finchy. A bit sort of, that sort of size, but we didn't know what it was. But it was a beautiful little bird. Tried to film them, didn't we? And by the time we got the camera, it obviously turned its back on us and then flew off.
Yeah, but we did get a close up on it. It was a nice little bird. Tangerine Aid, yes. Now this is with regard footy on TV. You say you would watch Blackpool regardless, but the current fare on TV now is a tad boring for me. Now this is kind of the point I'm making. Like, people casually watch football games. My dad would watch any football game that was on. He used to call you in. He'd be watching like Limerick Town versus something on Sky, and he'd be saying, "Come and watch this. Just watch this goal they've scored." And I'd be like, "I'm not interested." But
you should have that connection with the teams.
I think a lot of people, so Liverpool fans are going to watch Liverpool games, but are like casual fans going to be interested in watching Liverpool playing Bournemouth in front of no fans, or even Liverpool playing Arsenal in front of no fans? I think it's only interesting to the people that are actually, the fans of the game, but that's not going to get that mass millions and millions of people watching it, is it? Do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I've never been able to just watch a game as a neutral that I'm not interested in. I'll watch the England games. I don't even bother with England friendlies anymore. I can watch the England competitive games in the Euros, in the finals. I don't even watch the qualifiers, actually. And I'll watch Blackpool, but I will go to those Blackpool games. I won't watch them on the telly. If I want to watch Blackpool, I will go and watch Blackpool. The only games I watch on telly are England in the Euros or in the World Cup finals. I can't. If there's a game on, Liverpool are playing or whoever United are playing, not interested. I've got no connection to those clubs. I'm not interested in watching it. And I always say, like, during World Cups, Brazil are amazing, or Germany are amazing. I could just watch this just for the sake of watching some good football and being entertained, but I can't do it. I'm not interested. I can watch England, and that's it. I guess
there's lots
maybe
of
you could like find a German team to attach yourself to, and then maybe it can grow. I mean, I found it with Chasetown. I had no affection for Chasetown whatsoever, and then I started going to watch them a few times and getting to know people, and the more, I ended up working there, and I guess that added that extra something. So I did form an attachment to Chasetown. So it is possible to form it, but
yeah. But there is millions of people that watch. There's millions of people around the world, not just in all around the world, watch the Premier League, and they watch it and they watch all the games, and people watch Match of the Day and stuff. But will that audience, that sort of global market, be there to watch games that are just behind closed doors, or will it just be the fans of those clubs? So, say for Sharky, Newcastle, are on TV live playing. Liverpool and Newcastle fans are going to watch it, but is that global market going to watch it when there's no fans there? And are they going to get the viewing figures?
Although that said,
I don't think they are.
Belarusian football has had a little bit more interest. I know FK Sluts have got like a fan base from around the world, and there's a lot of people wanting to go over to Belarus to the club and the country. When all this is over. So there is an element of that. On the subject of Belarus, by the way, they have been hit by coronavirus. So the situation, just to recap, Belarus, they've just started their football league, which started, I think, in March. They started it irrespective of coronavirus. At the start of the season, there were less than 100 cases at the time they started the season in the country. They were doing their bit. They had hand sanitizer and temperature checks at the games. There were about 2,000 fans at matches, so there's now fewer going. They're trying to seat the fans at distances. So they are letting fans in because they said they were congregating outside the ground anyway, so they might as well. So they were letting them in. They tried to seat them, far enough apart. but there has been the first case. FC Minsk versus Niman Grodno has been postponed after one player was displaying symptoms. So it has finally. But I mean, this is weeks and weeks after the league started.
But are we getting the true info from there?
Well, I
Do you
don't
think?
know, but they closed the borders as well. So I mean, they've carried on with relatively little impact. So.
Right, just catching up on a few of these. Toonami TV, apparently the 2020-21 season will, until at least January, will be behind closed doors until a vaccine is found. So even the new season is going to be, behind closed doors. What do we think about that? Well, I'm already saying I'm not too... I just think watching behind closed doors football on TV is not going to be that exciting. It certainly won't. I might watch Blackpool games. Obviously, I will watch my own team. But whether I'm going to watch Newcastle games and the Premier League games and what's on a Sunday afternoon, I'm not. It's not for me. I don't think.
They do seem to be making great strides in the antibody tests and the vaccines. I think I was reading, was it today or yesterday?
Let's
they
hope.
found a vaccine that's been successful on monkeys, so hopefully it won't be too far.
They were talking about mouthwash or something the other day. Where mouthwash can
they're looking into whether mouthwash can help to
clear up the sort of thing in your throat.
I think, can we go
back
up a little bit? I think a little bit
further.
Yeah, Nick Muller saying he used to collect tea cards, sweet cards. Looking at his collection, he's got at least 500 sets, all in plastic sleeves. Loads of football sets, 1970s, 1980s. Wow. That's really interesting. Have you got all them in scrapbooks, Nick? Just moving down again further.
So we just catch up on these.
He's got every ticket from gigs, concerts, football. He's got Johnny Cash tickets, Human League, Jackson Brown, Cyndi Lauper, to name a few. He's got hundreds. Wow.
See, people do keep them. It's not just you.
Keep things. Yeah. We're hoarders, aren't we? I used to keep all sorts of things. I've still got loads of copies of the Gazette going back to the 1990s when I used to write in it, and all the, and David Ayres in his pants after we made the playoff final in 1991.
This is unusual. Stephen Smart saying, even though we're in rainy season, we have sun most mornings. We have number plate restrictions on certain days. That helps reduce the number of people going to the supermarket on the same day.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad idea. I thought
number plate.
that would be a sensible idea. Certain streets, certain postcodes being allowed to go to the supermarket on certain. I don't know how they police that. How do they police? Oh, number plate. Yeah, so you're not allowed to go out in your car if you. Yeah, that's a good idea actually.
Paul Maynard's got 2 Michael Jackson tickets from Leeds and Sheffield. Yes, I went to both of those. I went to Roundhay Park and I went to Sheffield to watch Michael Jackson. And the Roundhay Park was just an amazing night. It's one I'll never forget. I think there's about 200,000 there for that concert, and we were stood on a natural grassy bank. We had a great view, and it was just incredible concert. I've never been to anything with so many people there. It was amazing. Sheffield wasn't quite as good. There wasn't as many there. It was, but Leeds Roundhay was unbelievable.
Mr. Moley says, on the Partick Day, I visited Ibrox, Hampden Park and Celtic Park. Yeah, what a great idea. I wish I'd done that. A tip, don't wear a tangerine top and walk through the East End of Glasgow. You live and learn just.
Yeah, is that for Dundee?
Yeah, probably,
Dundee?
Probably, no, it's Orange Island.
Is it?
If season is voided and no relegation, Bolton should still have their points deduction next season. Yeah, absolutely, I agree with that, MK.
Yeah, for them to get away with it would be, it would be. It wouldn't be fair, would it? Really, it certainly wouldn't be fair on Bury, would it? Because they can't come back, can they? I mean, we were talking about that. If the season's voided, should Bury have gone? I don't know.
Ryan's got Blackpool Rangers, 19th of July 2012. I've never actually said this, but yes, Rangers won 3-0. I was hoping Blackpool won that or draw that way. I would have been happy either way. Did I go to that?
I think I went to that. No, I went to that. Yeah, I went to that. They were all.
Well, I haven't got to 2012 in my tickets yet. I'm still on 2005-6, I think. So I shall let you know next week.
It was one of those pre-season sort of friendly kind of games. Nothing really mattered. It was just great to see. To see a great game. I quite enjoyed it. Win or lose, it didn't really matter whether you lost, to be honest. And both teams made about 20 subs like they always do. So I always take them with a bit of a pinch of salt.
Tangerine says it's better watching this than nothing, but can't get remotely excited. The lack of atmosphere just adds to the lack of excitement. Yeah, I can't really.
What do they do when they score? This is what I want to see. You know, when the players score, do they like? Well, they can't run to fans, can they? So they can't do any like running to the fans, or they can't do any of that, shh to the fans when they score. There's nobody there to show. There's nothing, none of that. There's none of that. So any of that kind of going on because there's nobody there, is it? It must be really weird.
Mr. Mole is suggesting it might have been a green woodpecker that we saw.
Green? They're only tiny. They're very, very tiny.
No, because his red kind of goes front to back. He seemed to have like a little headband on. And I think his beak was small. Mind you, the colour's right. The colour's right there, isn't it? It was that kind of colour.
No, it wasn't that big.
No.
It wasn't that shape.
No, he only had a little. He had a little beak.
It was more like a little ball of a bird, not a long bird. It was like a little ball.
Like a tit or a finch.
Next week we're going to be doing watching grass grow live stream. They're all here for bird watching.
We are watching our grass grow as well.
Yeah.
Our little Morty the Mobot's doing a great job on our lawn.
Toonami was watching a live game from the Belarus League on Sunday. Just gone. It was streaming free on their official YouTube channel.
All right.
David Skull says, if you watch football on TV, it makes absolutely no difference who's on the terraces. It's the quality of the football. I will have to watch it, David, to decide whether I agree with that, because I've never watched a game on TV with no fans in it at all. So I don't know. I'll have to see. I could be wrong. It could be absolutely brilliant.
Toonami TV, how are you going to cope when next season's behind closed doors as well and you can't go to Bloomfield Road? There's talk of January, which is months away. Well,
we're going to be watching it on iFollow, are we? That's the thing. It's going to be on iFollow, so
yeah, it will.
We'll have to do some sort of video on iFollow. I don't know what we'll
stream of us watching it.
Yeah, that'll be exciting, won't it? Me talking all the time and Jane saying nothing, and Jane not getting a word in edgeways. Me shouting at the TV.
You'll be able to see what he's like while he's watching a match.
I do shout at the TV quite a lot, and I do pace around the room as well when it's really important. And when in the last 5 minutes, I blow the whistle and all this. So yeah, I'm not fun to watch football with at home.
To be honest, I mean, I'm not keen to get back to football in a way because I don't really want to be going out and about until it's safe. And also there's the financial implications as well. It's not cheap going to watch football, and until we're sort of back up and running and back to normal. Really, I'm quite happy not to have that added pressure of having to go to matches and travel to matches. So if they do play behind closed doors, then it would be. It's a step in the right direction, I guess. But I mean, we need to get this season sorted out before we start looking ahead to next season, don't we?
Ryan Dunbar says he's probably, there's a chance to see his two teams play each other again. It would be great, wouldn't it? Another, a pre-season friendly with Rangers. It might be even good to go up to Rangers. That'd be great. Yeah. We'd love to do that.
I'd love to go back to Scotland again. Yeah. I really would. I really loved it up there. That week in Inverness was superb. The weather was just beautiful, and it was a good. I do enjoy the pre-season tours very much. And
Nick is going to make your day because he says some ticket stubs are worth a lot of money because people just throw them away. So your whole collection could be worth fortunes, Jane. I
actually found one from the when we played Manchester United in the Marsden Lancashire Cup final back in. Oh, goodness knows when that was, early 90s, when the likes of Nicky Butt and the Nevilles and David Beckham were playing for Manchester United. I've got the programme from that match, and I've got the ticket as well. So it's quite interesting because it's not just the match tickets I've got like vouchers to buy match tickets. Like sometimes if you've got a big home game coming up and they wanted to make sure they went to Blackpool fans, if you went to like the couple of home games before, they give you a voucher that you'd have to exchange when you were buying your ticket for that match. So I found a few of those, and I found tickets to give you entry to supporters clubs. That was a thing at Wickham a few years ago. Apparently I've got a couple of those, and got my coach tickets, so all sorts. It's not just other matches that I've been to, England matches, and that when I mentioned the other week about the Blackburn Rovers versus SKS or Fire match, I found the ticket for that as well. So
yes, we did.
I find these things. I'm like, oh yeah, and it's all the memories come flooding back. It's
Brad
brighter state of mind hypnotherapy. I've lost my parrot. If anyone see one anywhere. Well, to be honest, we did say one of these birds did look like a budgie. So it could have been a small parrot.
You've lost a parrot. Wow.
Have you really lost a parrot?
Dr. Doolittle's
it. Messing with us?
Let's have a look.
Pitch invasion by the groundsman when Dortmund scored.
Really? Was there really a pitch invasion by the groundsman? Yeah, I was just trying to find that. So yeah, I can see it now. And yeah, did that really happen? A pitch invasion by the groundsman? Wow.
I thought it'd want to be. Maybe you went to replace a divot or something. I know what groundsmen are like with their pitches.
David Scholes.
Maybe went to disinfect it.
Yeah, maybe. David Scholes said, I came from a time when the only live football on telly was the FA Cup final internationals. All the live streaming a spoil watching football for all. In many ways, we are a bit saturated with it, aren't we? And it's a bit strange for us, really, because we're Blackpool and we haven't really been on TV that much. Only the golden days of the Premier League with the games where Blackpool were shown on TV were few and far between. And I mean, my dad would even tape Granada reports if there was 2 minutes of a thing at Blackpool. We'd watch it for the whole week because there was just something on about Blackpool. He was amazed when we're actually on TV. But yeah, it has gone. There is a lot of football. It's on almost every night now, isn't it? It used to be Saturdays, and there was a Sunday, then they brought Monday night football, then Friday in, and then there's the European games midweek. It's just on every night.
Kev says his daughter Katie reckons it was a goldfinch. And that's the nearest one I found, actually, because he got the little red face. He's the right kind of shape. But, whether it was like the reflection of the leaves making him look green and he wasn't green. But that is the nearest that I found. They're beautiful little things, aren't they? I think Katie might be right there. So
2 weeks' time, Ryan's going on live on YouTube to watch paint dry. Yes, that's another topic we could do.
I was thinking about the garage door, actually.
Yeah.
Stream from outside the garage door watching the paint dry.
Yeah, that would be great, wouldn't it?
Ryan says if Pool came to Glasgow, I'd need to split myself in two, one part Rangers, one part Pool.
It would be hard, but I mean, the only good thing about it, Ryan, is if whenever Blackpool or if ever Blackpool play Rangers ever again, it's never going to be unless it was a European and Blackpool managed to get into Europe, it would never be a competitive match, would it? It's always going to be a friendly. So
unless they bring back the Anglo-Scottish Cup.
Oh, the Anglos.
That'd be a great idea, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's come from left field. What do you all think about that? An Anglo-Scottish Cup again? That would be interesting, wouldn't it?
Dennis says Man United match Sinclair had just been sold, so that's back to 90. Would that be 92? Maybe 93. Yeah, it was quite a while ago, wasn't it? Tangerine Aid, I've now turned the sound off completely and it's a slightly better experience. Can now imagine the crowd and not hear the echo of the few people watching.
Can you hear all the players like shouting at each other? You can hear them over here and all the sort of, the crowd, I suppose.
Should I go and get my clown horn? Would that help?
Can you hear the players swearing at all?
Oh, yeah.
Because they do swear a bit, don't they? You can't hear them normally when the crowd's loud. Although they do sometimes pick them up on the close mics, don't they, on the pitch? But I'm sure they can hear everything they're saying.
Peter Durden's here. Hello.
Oh,
Peter.
hi, Peter. You've got the video from the Lancashire Cup final versus Manchester United.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah, you mentioned that on Facebook the other day, didn't you? Yeah.
Ah.
Wow, I didn't even know they filmed that one. I suppose, yeah.
Wow.
I've got a few old VHSs from those sort of days. Is it sort of one of the old ones where they look like they're in the Ready Brek? They had the Ready Brek glow around them, didn't they? You could just hear the wind and no commentary. So they were great. I've got a few of those from around about that time actually. Yeah.
John Stevens is saying the Bomb Squad is currently on Reeds Avenue. Is that true? The Bomb Squad.
Let's have a look. I know there's a fire in Cannabis Factory in Grimsby at the moment.
Andy G. Hello, Andy. As long as Villa go down, I don't care what happens in the league. What else happens in the league? So are you Birmingham, Andy? Are you a Birmingham fan? If you don't like Villa? No joking about the groundsman. Would have been good, though. No, he was joking about the groundsman, yeah. Oh. It would have been good, though, yeah. Yeah, it would have been quite good. The groundsman had run on doing something, yeah. We actually believe you there, right? Yeah, I was fooled for a minute. If all the money that you spent on football was given back, how much do you think it'd be, including train fare tickets and food
goodness me.
programs?
You know, I've deliberately never calculated this because it's been a lot. It's been, you know, it's thousands every season.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous when you're talking, you know, your pre-season tours, like you say, your food and your drink on the day. It's a minimum. It's, you know, with your match tickets as well. I was, you know, an away day, you spend a minimum of £50, and that was like 20 years ago.
So if you think you went to 50 games a season, you could work it out roughly.
The trains are so expensive these days. You know, if you're talking, your average, £20 a match ticket and maybe £40 your train, and then you've got to eat and drink and your beer, and it's ridiculous, really.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons why I didn't go to the away games or do the away, which is why Jane did the away games, is because obviously I, as a DJ, I just have bookings every Saturday, and sometimes when we're at home, I'm on a real rush to get, you know, like from the ground to home to get the car and take it somewhere to go and get set up for a wedding that's going to start at 7:30, you know, so I didn't have the time to come back to get ready, and I couldn't give up the DJing work because that would have been another load of money lost. So that's why Jane did the away games for me, because I couldn't get to them. But
when I first started going away, you know, I didn't have any money at all when I moved down to Walsall. You know, I didn't have any money, but I still, you know, I had to go to all the matches because it's just, you know, I had a bit of an addiction to going to all the matches that maybe I'm going towards again now. But it was different those days, because if you didn't buy your train ticket in advance, it was the same price on the train. You know, there was no advantage, so I just used to get on the train hoping that you know, there wasn't, you know, I wouldn't have to pay because the conductor wouldn't be on there. And then I'd buy a bottle of drink, and I'd make that last me all day, and I wouldn't eat. I didn't used to eat on a Saturday at all. So it was just basically the match ticket, the travel if I had to, and I wouldn't, you know. So that kept the cost down a little bit, but you know, it just, it's not cheap, is it? It's still thousands of pounds.
It's a lot of money.
Season ticket, even your home games.
It's a lot of money.
Shirts.
I mean, the only thing we do have is that our season ticket is about 300, nearly close to £400. But you know, if you're following Arsenal, they're like £2,000 just for a home season ticket. Imagine how much they pay for. It's a lot of money.
Peter asks, is there a Critchley Gerrard connection to get a friendly up at Ibrox sorted? Oh, that'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Perhaps.
There could well be. We'll have to kind of mention it in sort of in the circles that we know. See if we can.
Critchley take over
see if
from
we can get it
Gerrard as
arranged.
the under-23s manager. So did they ever actually work together?
There's lots of echo in the match. Lots of echoing. I can imagine it's terrible.
Ryan, can't wait to welcome you both to Ibrox and make sure you're head to toe in red, white and blue, scarf, hats and gloves, jersey, the lot.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah. So, yeah.
Ben's here.
Bang up for it. Ben, we've had your mum here. She's been standing in for you. She said hello and everything. So come on then. Ben, you've been watching the live stream of.
Yeah, how was it?
How was it? We're all saying, or I've been saying, or I've been muting the fact that it's not that as exciting without fans there, with no fans and no atmosphere. Was it a great watch? Did you enjoy it? Did it feel like watching football, or was it just a very strange, surreal experience that you don't think is going to really take off that good?
David asks, what was the average crowd at Chasetown? Did the lack of people spoil your experience, Jane? Well, I said it was different. The average crowd, it depended. Like if it was an international weekend, maybe you go up to 230, 250. It could be like as low as 120. It was definitely different. I mean, I was working there, so it was sort of a whole different experience for me anyway, because, you know, I was doing my bits and with the team sheets, and I had to sit at, you know, and write down the times of the scorers and the times of the goals, and, you know, have my little referee's watch on and observe everything that was going on and do my hospitality before and after the game. So it was a whole different experience. But yeah, definitely. Someone did say to me when I was there, who was actually a Stoke fan, he was saying it's not the same because you don't have, you know, the crowd and the crowd noise, and it's just an extra element that you don't get at that level. But like I say, you get the intimacy, you know, with the players and the people at the club, and you're valued for being there. So it's a very different experience. But yeah, I mean, when I went back to Blackpool, you know, you realise, oh yeah, actually this is what it's all about. So.
Yeah. David Skull said, Jane, you just can't put a price on memories. And I think you're kind of saying
It's
that,
true,
aren't you?
yeah.
For you, the great memories and your whole,
Yeah, I
just your scrapbook that you're doing now is all fantastic memories.
I
and
don't begrudge a penny of it because it's it's living your life, isn't it? Going out and doing what you enjoy doing, and meeting people and just like you say, making memories, and that's what I missed when I didn't have it. So yeah, you can't put a price on it at all.
Will we be watching? Oh, Jane, the alternative Eurovision tonight. Will you be
I've
watching
not,
that? I thought you always watch Eurovision, don't you?
I know my friend who's one of the gatemen at Blackpool. We always message about Eurovision all the time, and we're getting all excited about it. And he was saying actually on Tuesday night when the semi-final would have been, they were showing like all the songs that would have been in this year's Eurovision. Completely forgot to watch it, but yeah, they have got something going on tonight. Yeah, I'd love to if I'm allowed to. It's
you can. I'm looking for. I didn't even know it was on. So yes, we are watching the alternative Eurovision side. I can't wait. I haven't watched the Eurovision Song Contest for years because I'm always working on Saturday. I've been working as a DJ for years and years and years. I haven't watched it for years, so I'm definitely going to watch it. Can't wait. It's just a shame Terry Wogan's not still with us to do it.
Yeah, well, my friend who mentioned that, who my Eurovision buddy, also mentioned something that we watched last night, which is on YouTube, called The Shows Must Go On, which every weekend they show a filmed version of one of the big shows in London, and it was Cats yesterday. Or it's still on. It's on all weekend if you want to watch it.
Jellicle cats can and jellicles do.
So we watched Cats last night. So it's great. There's a different one every weekend. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, you like your shows, then have a look at The Shows Must Go On. It's something that Andrew Lloyd Webber's. They're all his shows, and worth a watch. There was over 100,000 people watching that last night.
Ben has said Cosvogs, he's the same. Jenny has an addiction to it. He puts all his money away, for away games, and he pays £120 for it. Is that for your season ticket?
If you want to do something badly enough, I mean, literally, when I was living in Walsall, I had no money. I'd be eating beans on toast all week. I was trying to fare dodge on the trains. I wouldn't eat all day Saturday just because I prioritise football above everything.
And she spoons the beans out of a tin, folks. Can you believe that? She cooks it in there and keeps it in the tin and just eat the beans out of the tin.
A dash of Worcester sauce.
Proper student. I was like, what?
So I live off,
what do you put in Worcester sauce in it?
Pasta, get a big bag of penne pasta and just, your 5p tins of tomatoes, whatever they were at the time, 9p, and just live off that and beans on toast all week, just so I could afford to go to football on Saturday.
Tell you.
Always managed to pay the bills, and you cut out things if you want something really, really badly enough. If you're addicted to something, it's like, I smoked at the time as well, so I could always afford my cigarettes, but I just didn't eat. No,
didn't eat. Paul Falwell Blue Nose. Hello, Lee and Jane. Hello, Paul. Nice to have you here. How's life down there?
Yeah, I believe it's getting better. Things are improving, aren't they, in Birmingham, the Black Country at the moment in terms of the virus. It seems to have been turned around, which is good news. I've got a lot of friends down there. Oh,
there's also Mr. Molly saying at 10 p.m. on BBC Two, there's classic Eurovision moments. Should be worth a watch. Yeah. Well, we may well stay up to watch that as well.
Definitely, that's great. I look forward to that. Yeah, I love Eurovision. It's one of the highlights of the year.
Ryan saying the only musicals he watched is Wicked, The Lion King, and Jersey Boys. Well, I've seen The Lion King. It's amazing. I want to see Wicked.
Wicked's amazing. I've seen it a couple of times.
And the Jersey Boys, I'd love to see it. Really would. There was a show in London my dad went to see called Five Guys Named Mo, and that was like a tap dancing thing. I would like to see that as well. But the Jersey Boys is really popular, and
Matilda's very good as well. I enjoyed that. I went to see that in London.
I like musical theatre. I've
never actually seen the Lion King, which Lee can't believe. I've just never seen the film or anything. Lion King.
So we will. She will get to see that. I will let her see that because it's brilliant. It's really, really good. I like musical theatre. Cats is a bit weird, if I'm being honest. Joseph's kind of better. I was thinking that. I've never seen Phantom of the Opera. There's quite a few I'd like to go and see. In fact, I don't see enough of it. I mean, the Grand Theatre. We were actually walking through town and we passed the Grand Theatre, and it's a beautiful theatre, and the Winter Gardens as well. And I'd like to see more shows in Blackpool if I had the time, to go and see them, because some fabulous theatre stuff
You were
on.
jealous about the Panto, weren't you? I went to see Steve Royal in the Panto in Blackpool this year. It's so good.
But
If
yeah,
you've never been, really recommend it.
yeah, Steve Royal. Well, I don't know if any of you have been watching Britain's Got Talent, but of course he was on the auditions and he got through, and he was so funny. He is so funny, and he just wowed them. Didn't he? In 5 minutes, he did an amazing stand-up routine. It was really good, and Simon Cowell's so hard on comedians normally, but no, he sailed through. He's just so talented, Steve Royal, and he's been in the Blackpool Panto for about 20 years, I think now. Has he been doing it 20 years, roughly? Around about 20. Jane would know more than me.
No, I never heard of him until I went to see him in Panto, actually.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying he's been in Panto for 20 years. He's been on the Blackpool Panto scene for about 20 years, and he's always at the Grand.
I've been away for 20 years. So,
no. Yeah.
Nick says you can't take your money with you, so spend it or someone else will. Yeah, very true. Very true.
Yeah, well, I'm going to go out Owen. I've already said that. I'll come in with out. I'll go out with less.
I will just rattle through what we haven't covered that I've got on my list. I don't think I mentioned AFC filed. So they've furloughed the manager and the CEO this week. Most others have already been furloughed. But David Haythornthwaite has offered the players jobs in his factory. Says they normally use agency workers, but he's offered the players. I don't know if anyone's taken him up on that offer, but gives them a way of topping up their wages if they're furloughed on 80% at the moment. That's it's an interesting offer. So I'll be interested to see how that went down. And they're budgeting on a September start with the fans back in January. So that does sound like that's what they're targeting at the moment. But things seem to be, starting to go back to not to normal, but people are venturing out a bit more. So it'll be interesting to see whether we have another peak or whether people are being sensible. I think if people are sensible, then we should be okay. But we'll see. Danny Rose, Tottenham player who's on loan at Newcastle at the moment. He came out sweary this week.
He did come out rather sweary.
He doesn't give a bleep about the nation's morale. People's lives are at risk, so he's very much against going back to football. Sean Wright-Phillips has come out in defence of him and phrased it a little more eloquently.
Yes. But the sentiment was there that he doesn't want to lose.
Sean Wright-Phillips says, I don't really understand why footballers have to take this risk when it's a full-on contact sport. He said he saw something in the Telegraph that if players go into slide tackles, they should turn their heads, which could result in a broken leg, which is... So I mean, and he was saying, when players step over that white line, they're 100%, focused in the zone on playing the football, and if they're having to, it's just.
Well, they can't be thinking about social distancing when they're running around chasing a football, can they? But yes, when they're walking out onto the pitch, they're not allowed to walk. The teams have got to walk separately, and they can't handshake. But this is a point I made. Quite a long time ago, that doesn't make any sense to me. If they're going to be playing football, they're going to be coming into contact with each other. Just walking out at different times is going to make no difference.
Just back into Europe, Club Bruges have been declared the Belgian champions yesterday. They had a 15-point lead over Ghent with one game left, so I think that's pretty indisputable. They were the first country in Europe to cancel the league, but it's not been ratified until the General Assembly yesterday, so that's all sorted. And Varsland Beveren have been relegated.
Cosvogs has said, will we ever think of starting a podcast? And you're loving the trim. Yeah, the trim I did myself. I watched a YouTube video on this barber that's telling you how to, use clippers on yourself and how to use a number 4 at the top and then fade it in. And I did it. It took me about 2 hours, but yeah. So thank you very much. I'm glad you like it. Done by my own fair hand. And yes, would we? Yes, I would actually. It'd be great actually to do something where we could talk to you at the same time. Would be great if we could
What's the difference between a podcast and what we're doing here?
Well, it's not a video thing. It's where you sit down with Matt. You can have guests in, but
you can have podcasts on YouTube though, can't you?
Yeah, you can have you can have podcasts. This is a kind of a podcast, I suppose, in a way, but we just haven't got guests at the moment. But we're looking at ways. At the moment, I've just been trying to get this live stream to look okay because I've been so disappointed with it so far. And I think, I'm hoping that the sound is good and it's lit up enough so you could see us and it's in sync, which are the problems I've been having with. There's a delay with YouTube, so I've had to set delay on the audio so it all syncs together. So if we've got this bit right, then
I think we are
I'll be working on more stuff to maybe bring people in.
We're looking to develop this basically and bring other things into this beyond what we're doing at the moment. We've got some plans to bring some other elements to this. So we've just been waiting to get this right, and now we have. Maybe next week you'll see a little bit of.
Well, we're hoping. I'm hoping you're all finding it. The sound is okay and it all sounds good, and we can whisper to you and all that sort of stuff, and you can hear that, and it's all in sync, and that it's lit up well enough that you can see us good this time.
Ben says there's an app called StreamYard that you can get guests on. Is that what?
That's what Toonami uses, but I can't use StreamYard because that's on your phone with OBS Studio, which is what we're now using with a proper camera, and we've got microphones and everything. So I can't do all these microphones and all the rest of it into StreamYard. So it's a little bit more complicated with OBS Studio to get people in on it. It is possible, but I'm going to have to spend some time on it. But it's been so hard to get it right. I've not been pleased with any of them. So I'm hoping this one I am pleased with. And I hope you guys are all enjoying it as well. And, you can see and hear us the best we've done so far. That's what I'm hoping anyway.
Ryan said he was going to see Lion King for the first time, then coronavirus struck, and never seen The Lion King, the film? Jane, come on, April Fool's has been. Well, funnily enough, they have some cinema nights at Chasetown, and they had... They were showing The Lion King there, and I thought, oh, great, I'll go along, I'll volunteer to work on the night, I'll take the money from the people coming in or selling the raffle tickets, whatever I was doing, and then I'll sit and watch the film, with everyone else, on the picnic chairs, just on the big screen on the pitch at Chasetown. It's it's a great idea, really successful nights they were. You got hundreds of people going to those. But of course, it was round about the day that the fixtures came out, we had to, we'd been allocated to a certain league, and we were having to, organise, because you have to agree with other clubs. You don't have to, but you can agree with other clubs who you want to play on Boxing Day and New Year's Day, and the bank holidays, August bank holiday, and I think Easter. And if you can come to an agreement with another club before the season starts, then you can maximise basically. You play your local rivals on the
big
Boxing
days.
Day, so you can make the most money basically. So it was. I think that day we'd been switched from one league to another, or allocated to a particular league. So I ended up speaking to people and ringing secretaries of other clubs trying to get these dates agreed for these fixtures, so we could fill in the fixture questionnaire. So I didn't end up watching The Lion King. It was there. It was on the big screen while I was there. But I I think it was a bit naive of me to think I could go down the football club and actually just sit and relax and watch a match, watch a film for a couple of hours, because it just wasn't feasible.
Well, there's either two chances. We'll either get her to watch the film, or it may well be on this Friday night thing. They may well do The Lion King as as one of the shows.
Oh, Ryan sent me, check your Twitter, I sent a tweet regarding Dortmund subs. Shane, this is what the Dortmund subs were doing. Oh yeah, look, they're all sat distancing with masks on. Gosh.
Who There's nobody within about 100 yards of them. It's honestly, they're more concerned about the subs and the players that are all in contact with each other. It doesn't make sense to me.
Just before we run out of time, I haven't covered the brick football yet. So this is getting very tasty in the Builders League. The brick football. It's coming. There's 3 games left. So the league table currently it sounds like this. Spartans are top with 102 points. Brixfield Cobblers second with 91 points. They're both up. The automatic promotion spot, the other automatic promotion spot is Brixton City. It looks like they're up as well. They're 13 points clear. But the playoffs, we've got Greenlawn Rovers on 74, Amber Exiles 68, Bear City Shrimps on 68, FC Brickstand on 67. So they're currently occupying the final playoff spot.
Oh, they're in Blackpool spots.
And you've got Broadfield Borough also on 67 points, but just outside the playoffs. And then Interlocking on 62 with 3 games left. So technically Interlocking could make the playoffs as well. This week, Brickstand, they're playing Saddletown Swifts tomorrow at home, I think. They won 3-0 at home to Yellowfield Stags on Tuesday, so that was a bit of a rampant victory. That's following on from a 1-0 defeat to Greenlawn Rovers on Sunday. Interlocking, actually on form at the moment. They've won their 2 games this week. They won 2-0 against Saddletown Swifts and 3-1 against Glanford on Sunday. So, and they're also they've had the materials delivered to build their new stands. They're expanding their capacity for next season. So maybe they are hoping to go up. But so yeah, Brickstand and Interlocking not out of the running for the playoffs. So if they play at 7:45 on a Sunday night, so it's worth following those because we might get a bit of exciting playoff action to celebrate, some football joy over the next few weeks. So if you don't already follow at FC Brickstand and at Interlocking on Twitter, because it just brings a bit of football joy, and they bring the stories around the football as well. Like on the midweek game, we had the great gherkin debate. Like, do you like gherkins on your burgers? And I said, I love them. That's one of the reasons I go. But some people are like, oh no, we hate them. Take them off straight in the bin. So it just brings in the whole football experience, but in a fun way. So it's Lego football, by the way, in case.
Nick Muller saying his last away day was Blackpool. At the time, he got, according to him, a fluky almost last minute goal. It was a last minute goal. It was a great goal, but sorry about that, Nick. Yeah, sorry, that was your last. No. Well, we are sorry for you, but we're not sorry. We enjoyed that goal immensely because although you weren't happy with that goal, were you? I think.
Mr. Moley says he's never seen any Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, or Harry Potter. That is controversial. I've never seen Game of Thrones.
No, I've never seen. I've watched Harry Potter. I don't quite understand Harry Potter. I've never read the books. It's always a bit confused me. I used to take the boys, when they were little, and they were saying what's going on. I'd be like, I haven't got a clue. I can't explain to you. Star Wars. I find that hard to. No, I've watched Star Wars. Yeah, we were thinking of watching Game of Thrones. We've got so much to watch at the moment. It's incredible.
Tsunami TV says, I'm going to keep the live streams coming each Saturday at 8 p.m. So, yeah, if you're at a loose end tonight not watching Eurovision, pop along there.
And it's a 2 hours short stream tonight. Well, that's okay, because normally we fall asleep before you're on till about 2 in it. I think he does about a 6 hour stream normally, does Tsunami TV. It's incredible. I don't know.
Maybe he's run out of Red Bull.
It was incredible. Your live streams just go on forever.
David Scholes is asking, what about Brickpool? Brickpool are in a different league. I don't know what league Brickpool are in, but they're I'm not quite sure they get the coverage. They did play Brickstand in the cup.
Mark Porter's just said that sound quality and picture is first class. Well, I'm really hoping so. I mean, obviously I watch them, I watch some of it back when it's uploaded, and every time I'm moaning on, I say, I've not got that right, I've not got this right, the lighting's not right, everything's been wrong so far. So I'm hoping that this time we've nailed it, and then I can work on other things that I need to bring in to the show and have time to do it. I'm not faffing around setting all this up every week. It should be set up as this then every week.
Nick says, I hate the Star Wars films. This is controversial.
How can you hate the Star Wars?
Actually, really, I hadn't seen the most recent ones. We went to see the new one, didn't we, this year or late last year? But so I watched the other 2 before I went to see that, and yeah, I really enjoyed them. It's just a little bit of escapism. I love my Star Trek as well.
Funnily enough, we were watching Big Bang Theory this week, and Amy Farrah Fowler, if you watch Big Bang Theory, was watching Raiders of the Lost Ark with Sheldon, and at the end of it, he was like, well, what do you think of it? She was like, oh yeah, it was a good film, but really, there's just the obvious flaw with the film. And he was like, what? Can't be any flaw with this film. It's the most perfect film ever. And she said, well, yeah, it doesn't really need Indiana Jones in it. The Germans would have found the art, would have taken it somewhere. They'd all got killed, whether Indiana Jones was there or not. And they couldn't get over it. They just couldn't get over this flaw in the film. And so I'm not having you ruining Star Wars. Star Wars is I've enjoyed all the Star Wars films. I really like
what they did with Leia as well in the.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, they kind of CGI'd her back in, didn't they? That was incredible. But
Mr. Moley says, Toonami must want to watch the Eurovision Classic Moments programme at 10 p.m. Yes, I suspect that as well, Mr. Moley.
It's funny. I'm not much fun to watch like movies with, because I'm always looking at how they've edited the films and how they've done the all the things that I try my best to put into the things that we do.
We're as bad as each other, aren't we? Because I'm always looking at the writing and the writing
Yeah.
techniques and where they're bringing in the conflict. And
Jane always says it's lazy writing. She kind of sees the plot open up and she kind of thinks, oh, they could have written that better. That's very lazy, and I don't even see that.
And Lee's like, well, why has this person done that? I was like, because it's creating conflict. Because it adds to the story. If that didn't happen, then people wouldn't be interested in watching it.
Exactly.
So we both look at it from different, from
we
a
do.
writer and Lee from the filmmaker. And
we do.
It's good though. We learn from each other, don't we?
What about Brickpool, says David Scholes. Absolutely loving your work, Cods Vlogs. Thank you very much, Ben. Honestly, we deserve a lot more subscribers. Well,
They'll come. They are still coming, aren't they?
They are. People keep subscribing.
Are we up to 1,800 yet? Should we look?
We were close. 1,799. I was on. I'm not that I'm counting, but we keep. Hopefully, we'll just keep getting it up. I mean, there's loads of stuff coming in the future. There's loads of stuff about Blackpool. We started doing these Blackpool walks now and stuff like that, and people are interested in things that are going on in Blackpool as well. So at least we're doing something while the football's not on.
Right, well, we're coming up to full time. We're in injury time now. So
yes, Mr. Molly saying he's only doing a 2-hour stream so we can watch the Eurovision Classic Moments program at 10 o'clock. Maybe that's it, Sharky. Are you a secret Eurovision watcher? We may get the answer if you're still here.
Ryan says, on a personal note, guys, I feel like I've become YouTube friends with you. Both been nice with you both. Been nice getting to know you both these past weeks. Yeah, we agree, Ryan.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's like we're part of the same football family now.
Yeah,
nice.
You and Nick and these people we'd have never met. We'd have never met Ben from Cod Vlogs and loads of people. I mean, we go out and we get people. We were in Tesco's and a chat saying, "Hi, Elaine," he's talking to me away, and I'm thinking, where do I know him from? And he was a chap that I've met through the videos and watching the videos, and it's funny. People actually come up to you and they talk to you, as if you really know them as friends, and you're like, oh, I want to watch your videos, and it's really nice. It's amazing. It's a different life and a different thing than I ever imagined it would be, really. And we're loving every minute, aren't we? Really?
Yeah, it's great. It's really.
We met, she met up with me, and we met up. We did the video about your fanzine, about the fanzine, which you haven't plugged yet, although it is plugged down there. It's right across underneath there. You can get it on Issue, can't you?
Oh yeah, I'm a bit more active on the social media this last week or two with the at Progress 1887. If you want to give me a follow on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. I've been posting on Instagram, actually. I've not really historically been particularly au fait with Instagram, but I'm posting things every day, whether it's pictures of Blackpool or old memorabilia or little bits of like my match tickets and things, and then the little stories behind them, and because I've got so many photos, I go out and about and take photos all the time, and it's a good platform actually for me to put those to use. So if you want to follow me, I'm at Blackpool Jane on Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah.
And also at Progress 1887 is the fanzine.
Ednam, hi Ednam. Hi both. I really enjoyed your video walk to North Shore last night, despite you both being cold in that wind. The sound of vision today is very good compared with your previous weeks with the chats. Well, that is what I want to hear, and thank you very much. Because honestly, I've spent the last 2 weeks, I don't know how many hours I've spent. I have to record something and then watch it back on YouTube, or to see if it's synced. And I'm just hoping, I've been hoping upon hope I've got it right this time, and the sound is synced in right, and you can see us nice and light, and we're not too much in the dark. And then when we've got that right, then I can start working on the other things that we both the ideas we both have for this live stream to make it even more interesting for you, which I'm sure you'll enjoy as the weeks go by.
David asks, have we seen Big Bang's Fun with Flags podcast?
Yes.
Yeah, we've seen a few of the Fun with Flags. Someone actually did liken us to
Fun
Sheldon
with
and
Flags,
Amy
yeah.
on one of the boards before we started watching
Yeah.
Big Bang, actually, and we didn't really get it, but now we're watching it and we're like, yeah, you can see what they're doing and why they're doing it and the mistakes that we used to make, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's very good. It's very good.
Yeah,
there's more to come on the Fun with Flags as well. We do like
yeah, we like the Fun with Flags. It is, I mean, Big Bang. Honestly, I have laughed so much at Big Bang Theory. Sometimes I'm actually in stitches. It is so funny. What series are we on to now? Series 7.
Yeah, we're on 7 now because we've got the
Series 7.
I actually bought, because we're just going to miss Big Bang so much when we finish it. I actually bought the Trivial Pursuit Big Bang Theory game, so which covers it up to the end of Series 7. So when we get to the end of Series 7, we can start playing. it's just we watch it literally every night. It's just the last thing we do before we go to bed. It's just so funny. We are going to miss it so much when it finishes. But another 3 series.
Sharky's going, but he hasn't answered our question. Are you finishing at 10 tonight, Sharky, so you can watch the Eurovision magic moments at 10 o'clock? Somebody's asked that question for you, but we'll just have to assume you are. Ryan Dunbar says, feel free, guys, near the time to message me if you feel like coming up. We definitely will. Yeah. We can't wait. We can't wait. Tangerine Aid enjoyed the prom stroll as well. Yeah, it's just so iconic. It can't go wrong, can you, with the Golden Mile of Blackpool? And it does look stunning.
Oh, David says it was me. Was that you who was comparing us to Amy?
No.
And Amy and Sheldon.
Fun with Flags. Yes. Yes. My name's Dr. Cooper, and this is Fun with Flags. Yes. No, it's very, very good, and it's kind of very true to life, really. The way they do it. And I must admit, the one where she kept when they had Will Wheaton on, and she kept cutting him every time he opened his mouth. Basically, they had a big row over it. He said, "She's being very rude," and she was, really, because he never even got to say a word. It was so funny.
Nick says we should do a Blackpool Fun with shirts as a tribute. Maybe we could do
Fun with shirts. Yeah, maybe. It's a great idea. Yeah. He's not watching Eurovision. But he does enjoy it when it's live. Yeah. Oh, well, we may well watch we are going to watch the alternative Eurovision tonight, so I'll tell you all about that. We're going to try and watch some sort of football film, aren't we? Some football film.
Yeah, I think the English game kind of put us off watching football stuff, which we're going to try and do something every week to try and watch and talk about with you every Saturday.
We've also forgot to mention, but it was put to us to do some sort of quiz. We're wondering if anybody would be interested in us doing like a weekly quiz.
A weeknight, maybe.
On a weeknight, a sort of a quiz thing live on here, as a football quiz. Maybe would you be interested in that? Would that be something you would like us to do? Just quickly post before we go, because we're into extra time, I think, aren't we? Yeah, we're running over. Yeah. We're having such a good. I'm here all night. I'm going. I want to beat two. Come on, we can do 6 hours, Jane. We can do it. We can do it.
No, I'm going to start getting hungry.
Have you not got any? Have you been through everything?
I have been through everything.
Oh, yeah, she's been through everything.
Yeah, so it's been great chatting with you all, guys. Again, we do enjoy these. I hope you enjoy them as much as we do.
Yeah, thank you very much, everyone. I think that is a wrap for this week. Thanks a lot for coming again, and joining in, because without you guys, honestly, we'd have nothing. We'd have nothing to talk about. David Scott says, go for it for a quiz. So we may well do.
Yes.
Yes, everybody's going for a quiz. Yes, all right. So we're going to come up with a quiz. And we'll do one of these. It won't be 2 hours or anything like that, but we'll have a bit of fun with it if we can come up with an idea for that.
Okay, yeah.
Cosvogs would love it. Yeah,
brilliant.
You'd love it.
Okay, well, let's get our thinking caps on about that then.
So, that is it from us. Thank you very much. As I say, see you next week. Same time, same place. We may see you earlier in the week if we can get a quiz thing done. But it's been really great today, and I've really enjoyed it. So from me, it's bye.
And from me, it's bye. Have a great week, guys, and catch you next week.
Bye.